Good morning, YouTube. This video is going to be on checking your accessory pump for a Bombardier SW48HY. I'm unsure if it's the same for the Prinos, but seeing how they didn't do too much changing in this area, I would assume it's very similar. My auxiliary pump or accessory pump, however you want to say it, that powers the front end implement, in this case it would be the Snowblower, is this piece right here. This would be the pump that goes to your front accessory valves. So what you're looking for on this pump is the two fittings that are test ports, which are right here for this one side, there's one here for the other, and then the third one that you're looking for is on the bottom. It's way down in here. If I put a flashlight on it, you'd barely be able to see it. It is there from the factory. They put one of these fittings on it. It's very difficult to get to, but you can get to it. You just gotta struggle a little bit. Or you could go under the machine. I believe there's an access panel down there for that. So what you wanna do is first get your data information from Sauer-Danfoss, or now just Danfoss. This is a Series 90 pump. And the orientation in the manual would reference that the data plate information is over here where the electronic control is. But in this case, they rotated the pump so that you could get to these big fittings right here, which is not a big deal. It's just an orientation thing. So the test pressure that you want for the pump to be functioning properly out of this port and this port is 6,090 psi. In the port that's in the bottom, which is the charge pressure port, you want that to be 348. There's a little bit of variance, but there's not much. So what I have done is I've already done the testing. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start the machine, and you are going to, what Prinos and Bombardier, they ask you to manually stroke it, and I've been on the phone with the techs. There's supposed to be a lever on the underside of this. I haven't found it yet. So what I did was I kind of did half of the test. And how I did that was I started the machine, and obviously you have to let the machine warm up. So a good 30 minutes of runtime at idle is appropriate. In this case, it's cold out. Then once the machine is running and it's warmed up and it's got the fluid running, what you're going to do is you are going to turn the high idle function for the snowblower to be enabled on. It has to be in work mode, turtle. And then you're gonna hit the snowblower rocker switch and then enable the snowblower. Now there's a word of warning here. Do not keep this pump activated without a implement connected to the front end for more than 6 seconds, okay? You can do damage. It's only to just pulse it and then shut it off. So do not keep it on for convenience. You'll do massive damage. Everyone says don't do it. What you'll do is you will put a connector here, and then you'll use a 10,000 PSI gauge. I'll put a link to the connector that I bought. It's a Parker fitting, but you can find it from CEJN. They have one as well. You will connect it there, you'll see a stroke, and then you'll see the pressure. Now, if you're not stroking the pump manually, somewhere on there, which I have not been able to find, what you're not going to see is pressure on this fitting right here, this hose. And the reason for that is that it is a one-way. It flows in and out. It would be pressurized on this fitting coming in, and it would be no pressure on this coming out. So it doesn't tell you if there's a problem with this. That's okay. It's just that you want to have a test on it either way. But we know that that's the way the pump is set up, so it's not a big deal. But I would love to test it anyway. And then you'll do the same thing for the charge pressure pump in the bottom. So that's how you test the pressures coming in and out of your pump if you wanted to run diagnostics to see if your pump is failing.